Was Slug the first person you met from Atmosphere?
I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because that Dose Eminem gene pool from Rhymesayers battled Dose. And they were there with copies of Overcast on vinyl. And so Gene Pool wasn't by himself, and I just don't know who he was with. Like, I don't know if Sadiq was there or Spawn was there. I don't think Sean was there. I would have remembered Sean. Because, you know what I mean? Like, he would have, if Sean had his record in his hand, he would have talked more about it. But because another dude at the radio station that we had to show at, he got the copy of Overcast, and that was the first time we heard him. So I feel like I met Sadiq and then Sean. I don't really remember meeting Spawn per se.
Got you. And what was your first impression of Slug when you met him?
Ah, you're not as handsome as everyone says you are. You know, when we played, when the dude that Skills was the dude that had a show before ours, and he was playing Scapegoat, and then we're in the lobby waiting, you know, like where the show after, he put, what the fuck is that, dude? And he had 2 copies. So he gave me a copy of Scapegoat. And so later on in our show, we play that, and then we're listening in the other part of the studio to the rest of the record. And I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers were here. And I forgot how the next year I invited them to come play. They came to Scribble, and I got Sean and them on at the Park Jam. And when I met Sean face to face, we're all talking to him, and we're like, so where's Slug? And he's like, well, that's me, because we thought Sean was black. Because that's how he sounded on the record. No one knew he was white. Well, he's mixed, but, you know, then we just thought he was a white dude. And we're like, no, but where's like Sean, the guy that does Scapegoat? It's me. And I don't think we believed it till we saw him perform it.
Wow.
And he was tall, and yeah, not as handsome as you thought he was, huh?
So you end up being the tour DJ for what, from 2000 to 2005, pretty much?
Yeah. He had idea and abilities. You know, abilities was like the backup dude, or Mikey was the backup, you know, vocalist, and abilities was his DJ. And then they wanted to put out their records, their solo records. So then there's a point in between where you had like a PNS DJ'd for him for a while. He had a couple other dudes DJ for him. And then, I don't know, he just hit me up. He's like, you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I had never really done it before anyway. And like, I was on top of the world right then. So I'm like, why not? Fuck it. You know, we're going to go on tour. That was the point. It wasn't going to be one-off shows. Like I was used to going and doing raves and all that shit, you know, and flying here, doing one show. But this was like, you know, touring. That seemed like fun. Yeah.
Any wild, untold stories that you can tell us?
There's plenty. I don't mean I should tell them though. We can't tell that.
You're like, I can't tell that one. Nope, I can't tell that one.
I could tell you some basic stuff that. So, you know, we weren't going to do like any like Led Zeppelin shit or anything like, you know, like that on tour. But, you know, you grew up watching like Behind the Music and shit. And so you're like, you know, you're supposed to do crazy shit in the hotel room. But we also all grew up working at like restaurants and hotels and shit like that. So you don't want to like fuck somebody's, you know, job up. Cause yeah. So the middle ground was like, it started where we take all the drawers out and we would do pieces underneath the drawers and put them back in to see if someone ever found a big Slug or Dibbs piece inside a hotel room drawer. And then I didn't deem that good enough. So
that's like some Hot Tub Time Machine type of shit.
Yeah, like that. So I would take the tool, the little multi-tool thing that I brought in case the mixer needed to be opened. You know, you come in and there's the TV and turn the TV on, and I would take all the screws and bolts out of the entertainment center in your hotel room. So when you got to the room the next day and you touched that thing, the whole thing. So I would take all the bolts and screws out of all the furniture that I could find, and if it had it in there, I would take it all out of there.
Wait a minute. Okay. How does that go on code with what you're talking about? We all worked in the service industry, so we don't want to fuck somebody's day up, but we're going to fuck up the customer's day, I guess.
Rationale was this. The customer is going to be, if cameras were as prevalent, if people had cameras now, like back then, like they do now, you can only imagine how many videos there'd be of the room falling apart. And if you've ever worked in a hotel maintenance, you know that you don't do shit all day. You know, plunge a toilet here or there. You just walk around. So that's going to give Bill or Carl, the maintenance guy that's been downstairs sleeping for 6 hours,
Job security.
Something to do for half an hour. And I mean, you know, and then, so there's like that, and then like, I mean, there's all kinds of stories I heard that aren't necessarily about me or anybody I know directly. Like dudes with, you know, if you have ever cleaned a hotel room and that bed's been slept in and this one's made up, you don't fuck with the made up bed. You just make up the other bed because clearly no one slept in that bed. But what happened is people will sleep in that bed and they'll take the bed that looks like it wasn't slept in and they'll shit in the sheets and then they'll make the bed back up. And then the maid won't mess with it. And then when you check in that room and that's the closest thing to the door, you're going to get in there late at night after your set and you're going to slide in that bed and you're going to have shit on your legs. And then you're going to reach over to grab the phone and then you're going to see a little note that says, "How you doing, chocolate legs?" Then you're going to call the desk. I'm like, "There's shit in my bed." Now, I'm not saying I know anybody personally that did that, but I've heard stories.
You're fucking lying. I know your ass did it.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Oh my God. That's crazy, man.
Wasn't me.
But for 5 years, you guys were touring everywhere and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you say that that was some of the best years of you touring?
Yeah, the shit was fun. It was, the routine of it was kind of what made it easy to do. And like you would tour, you know, more than half the year, then you'd come back home like, I got to make a fucking record to take on the next tour. So then as soon as you got back home, maybe you kicked it for a few days and then you went right back in the studio and started working it. And then you got it done about a month before the tour. Then you had it back by the time you were going back out. So like the routine was kind of, you know what I mean? You're busy the whole time. So you can't really fuck up and get in trouble when you're busy until you fuck up and don't do your job right. Yeah. But as long as you're doing your job right, you're okay.
It's kind of nice to have like money you can count on that you know's coming in.
Oh yeah, that was a big part of it. That was money. Like not rich people money, but if you weren't stupid, you had some money.
At least consistent.
Yeah,
right.
Just bank it. It was easy. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
No other story you can share?
Man, it's not I mean, there's tons of stories, but I can't.
I got you. All right.
I can't. I would love, trust me, I would love to. If you're ever here in person, I'll tell you some shit that'll blow your mind, but you can't do it.
Got you. Okay.